We've had a debate about how long it was since Stoke had actually 3 locally grown players, so not necessarily from Stoke, but players that had played in the first team. And we've come to the conclusion that it was 2006.
Okay.
So congratulations on improving that statistic for us.
All right.
And do you feel that that's the way the club's going to go now, with more homegrown players?
I'd like it to, because it's a real good way of working if they're good enough, and we can, we can develop our own, and it's a wonderful way of doing it. I think the most important one is the club's ingrained in their being and so on, so it means a lot. I think that gives us a real affiliation with the fans, but 2, it saves you a hell of a lot of money and things. So look, if people are good enough, then they get opportunities, and that's the thing we've tried to promote here. We've not given anyone a freebie, if you like, and said, well, it'd be good for us if we play. No, look, these are players that are good enough, and we've got younger ones in the building who are not far off as well. So it's in a good place in that way.
And Tom Edwards has obviously got all the plaudits for his great goal and how well he's played this season, but he says he's kept in touch very much with his mates out of the academy, and that's got to be a big help and a big plus going forward, isn't it?
What, that he keeps in touch with his
friends? And they look upon him as a star that they can emulate.
Well, look, there's a pathway here in terms of every club I've been at. There's always been a pathway for young players that if they're good enough, they'll get opportunities. Because I like young players, because basically they have a starting point. They're very, you can mould them to the way that you'd like to play. They have a hunger, they have an energy, they have an athleticism usually, because obviously youthful exuberance or whatever you call it. But no, look, if we can promote youngsters from within, we will sign people of a certain age as well to supplement what we have here. But look, if it doesn't really matter about the age, it's about how good they are and do they want to play and can they play for Stoke City.
You've just played 2 teams fighting for promotion, and now you're going to go off and play Millwall, who are struggling and want to get points. It's going to be a very different type of game on Saturday. Well,
it's going to be a tough game, so they're all tough games, and I thought we were excellent at Middlesbrough without having a cutting edge. We had a bit more cutting edge about us on Tuesday and come up against the best side in the league, because they're top after 44 games. It's no fluke if you're in the position you're in, because that's the position you deserve to be in. So I thought it was an excellent game, a real good championship, a sort of advert for the championship. So no, we've had 2 tough games, put in 2 good performances. Again, not really had the points we felt we deserved, because we could have won both games, but I think I would be greedy in saying the Norwich game, because I think it was a good game, so point was fair, but I thought we were totally dominant against Middlesbrough. So yeah, it'll be a different type of game in terms of different ends of the table, but in terms of the what's required, it's exactly the same, because it'll be such a tough game. The Den, the new Den, the old Den, wherever Den you go to, it's a tough place, and Millwall, it demands. The atmosphere there demands a certain performance from the players, so we know we're going to have to be right at it.
You've talked about coming out of the blocks fast. You're certainly going to need to do that on Saturday.
Well, we try to do it every week, believe it or not, and things. Sometimes when we put more emphasis on it, it comes back and bites us. We put a real emphasis on starting really well against Middlesbrough, because we felt that we could sort of use certain things within their stadium that would hinder them. It wasn't to be, and that's ironic, because we put a massive emphasis on the start. So we'll stick to our principles and not put too much emphasis on any one thing apart from winning the game.
The early start's inconvenient for our travelling supporters, for the fans who have to make the long journey to Millwall on a Saturday through all the traffic. But how does it affect your preparation for the game? Does it make much difference with it being an earlier start?
Not really. I mean, I preferred him as a player. I actually prefer him as a manager, because it means you've got less time to hang around, because the Saturday morning is the worst time for me. Your prep work's finished pretty much when training finishes on Friday, and then you try to enjoy Friday night, but Saturday's a real time where you're just killing time until you get the team sheets, just in case of any changes. But I'm very conscious of the fact that an early kick-off, that it's obviously done, I think, for policing things, so we had no control over that. We haven't done it for our convenience, for example. So it's a tough one, but okay, I understand, because it's not the easiest ground to get to. I lived not far from there when I was at Charlton at Greenwich, and I know that the traffic around there is horrific. So anyone that is travelling, I'd advise them to go by train.
Neil Harris, you've come up against him once as manager in the Checkatrade Trophy.
Yeah, he's a good friend of mine actually, but I've played against him many times, and if I'm honest, he manages as he plays. You know exactly what type of test you're going to get. We did come up against him, albeit it was different because obviously we used to make 11 changes for that competition. We treated it well, but it was 11 changes we made. So no, it'll be a tough game. It's always a tough game when you play Millwall. At whatever stage of the season they're at, wherever you play them, it's a tough game. And tomorrow will be Saturday. Will be no different.
And you've said previously that you have no problem motivating the team, but it would be great to go through these last two matches on a high so that the supporters are all ready for next season and you've got something to build on.
Of course, and I've preached that. I mean, it's pretty evident from probably about 3-4 games back that anything beyond the 5th of May was going to be difficult. So we've wanted to keep those standards, and to be fair to the players, they have. I mean, look, whatever happens, if we concede a goal or we go to fall asleep or make an error, the 90-minute effort is there, and you saw that the other day. You saw that at Middlesbrough because there was no shortage of effort. They can't be questioned on that. Look, certain things we have to change in terms of their mentality, but it's not for want. And they trained today fantastically well, all right at it. People coming back from injury, Bruno, that want to join back in, Ryan Woods that wants to get back in. These have picked up injuries and couldn't be involved. So like I know that the group wants to work hard. It's just certain other changes we have to make.
Tom Ince obviously came back into the picture after injury too. Have we got any injury news you want to share?
No, look, we're pretty much as we were. I mean, Tom Edwards had to come off, so we with his hip injury, he's been playing through pain for a few weeks actually. So he showed what a character he is, or what character he is developing into. So that's the only one we have to look at. There's a couple that we've been playing through a bit of pain, through niggles and so on, but that's the nature of the beast. You know, you have to do that throughout your career, and they're doing that admirably.
And you're hearing great things about Tyrese Campbell, Harry Souttar, as well as our own local players. But without going back too far, we still struggle to score lots of goals. I'm sure that, as you've said, you try a lot in training to change that. Do you have any plans going forward that you can share with us regarding how that's going to change next season so we can get out of the league?
Well, look, we'll continue to work hard and do the work we need. Lots to do with confidence, but personnel. We'll have to bring goals into the club. We want to do that in terms of anyone we sign now, especially attacking midfield players, attacking players. We'll have to have goals records, so that's one thing we can improve it. But it's just tireless work that we keep doing. We will play a certain way. We'll have a good pre-season with them. We will try to change the environment in terms of how they prepare, how they do stuff, and all these things can add up. Now, we say we're struggling to score goals. I think the last 2 home games we've actually scored two in each game, but we've conceded 2, and that's been the problem. They haven't both married up. When we've scored 2, we haven't kept a clean sheet, or when we have kept a clean sheet, we haven't managed to score enough. So that's the thing we have to address is getting 90-minute performances from everyone. Now, it's a really tough game. The other day, but they scored from 2 things that we identified that they do: Pukki's movement and any kind of shot inside the box. You got to close shots down with them because they score from in and outside the box with a lot of shots from all over. Now, we've worked on certain stuff that we felt we could do well. We worked tirelessly on set play, so it's the first goal we scored from a set play, which is a shock. Not that we scored, but it took him this long to score, so we're pleased with that. And then we had other chances where we attacked quickly. We really did, attack quickly. Didn't quite hit the target. We were very adventurous. We had wing backs crossing to other wing backs. Maka had a header from across from Tom Edwards. So we're a positive side, and those things will come. It's just we've got to make sure that we're within a 95-minute performance. We have to marry up good defensive responsibilities with attacking flair and prowess, and not just be scoring, but letting them in.
You've seen how the crowd get behind the football club when the team does well, and it's really important that they stick with you through this summer. With the players that are going to stay, do you have any plans to give them any off-season programmes?
That's something that we do. That's something that's already there. We have Jared, who's my sports scientist, will give them. They'll have 2 or 3 weeks off, total rest. Then we'll build them up so that they are conditioned to improve. We call it. So that when they come back on the 25th of June, they will be ready to go again. Now they won't be at their peak fitness at the end of June. What they will be is conditioned to improve, so that through the 6 weeks period that we give them, they will then have that basis. So when they go into the first game of the season, they are ready and are approaching peak physical condition. Then what we have to do then is, in the weeks following the first game of the season, continue that, so that by September they are at peak physical condition, and then we have to maintain that throughout the season. That's the skill and the thing of sort of phasing every part of the season, so that in April we are exactly the same freshness, fitness levels, and sort of mental strength, if you like, and freshness to keep getting the same results that we were getting in August as we will in April and May. You know.
You mentioned mental strength, and we all know that that's really important to be successful in any walk of life, particularly as a football player. But do you feel that one of the things that you've managed to change around is that people now mentally are stronger? Because, no disrespect to anybody else that was here before, Stoke had got into a losing mentality, and it looks like now, particularly the Norwich game, you've managed to turn that round.
Well, I'm glad you're seeing things like that, because it's what we haven't really improved at the minute are results. You know, we haven't got the results to the points that we probably think we deserve, but probably think would then show that we've made big changes. But we've changed a lot for the environment and things. We have. It's been difficult. I don't want to speak bad of anyone, because I don't know anything about anyone else. I haven't, how they work, but it has not been an environment here where they are used to winning game after game after game, putting runs together, and that confidence flowing. In the Premier League at times you haven't got to do that, because if you get 37, 38 points, you survive, and that is a success in itself, because it's such a tough league. So when you then come down to the Championship, where you need to get 90 points, 92 points to get promoted, 88 points, that's 25 wins, 26, 27 wins, 10 draws. Now, we haven't lost many games this season, and I haven't been used to losing many games, but it's having that, changing that mentality, so that you know how to grind a game out, you know how to win a game when you're not playing well, and then when you are playing well, you put teams to the sword. So there's a lot of things we have to sort of change, really, because that hasn't been the culture here, and that's the biggest thing you have to do, because once you change that, results will come. Once you get that and you change mentalities and you change the culture, you obviously significantly improve the squad, which we will do. Then you can start to then build. So we've kind of plateaued a little bit. So now it's a springboard. Now we think to go forward, because we had to change the environment here, and had to change it to get everyone pulling in the right direction, wanting to work hard, wanting to play to Stoke. We knew we need to evaluate certain things, and we've done that. And now it's going to be a big summer of recruitment, and then it's a constant process to keep improving.
So finally, obviously you're positive about the way forward for the football club. You've been here for 3 months now. What, if you have to critique yourself, do you think are the positives that you have brought to the club, and what you can see yourself on the training pitch, not that the supporters see, that has improved and will stand the team in good stead for next season?
Well, what I'm saying is that what I see every day is they train at a real good level now, a real intensity, a real good level. They're very open-minded. They want to buy into, the majority of them want to buy into what we do. We think we've improved the environment, so there's a greater togetherness within the team. I think you've seen that with the amount of unbeaten and clean sheets and things we've had to do. I'll leave it up to you to see if the football's any different in terms of fluency, because we're trying to add that on a day-to-day basis. But look, there's still certain things that we have to change and have to improve, and there's certain things that we could do better. Results being one of those. But we feel we have a real good basis at the minute to recruit well, to have a good pre-season, which will give us a springboard to a successful season next year. We believe that. It's a tried and trusted thing that's happened before, that I've implemented before. So hopefully we can get the same results.
Thank you, good luck.
Cheers, thank you.
Thanks, folks.